Sagittarius, here is your compass for 22nd to 30th September 2025. You love a wide horizon. You thrive when the truth is clear, the plan is honest, and the road is open. This 9-day stretch invites you to do exactly that, to line up your purpose with real work, to turn faith into solid action, and to show the world what a steady fire sign can do when the wind blows strong. Think of this week as a mountain path after rain. The air is clean, the stones are a little slippery, and the views are worth every careful step. You do not need drama to prove your strength. You need craft, proof, and heart. The sky hands you all three. For these dates, the stage lights sit on the 10th house of career and duty, the 4th house of home and heart, the 7th house of partners and clients, and the 11th house of networks and gains. The Sun and Mercury sit together in Virgo in your 10th house. They speak about skill, service, and details. Across from them in Pisces, Saturn moves backward with Neptune in your 4th house. They ask for reality, structure, and compassion at home. Mars moves through Libra in your 11th house and gives you courage to grow your circle and ask for what you are worth. Jupiter travels through Gemini in your 7th house and brings wisdom to your agreements. Venus shares space with Ketu in Leo in your 9th house and turns your attention to honest belief. Rahu in Aquarius stirs your 3rd house of messages. The moon walks a full arc this week, visiting your 10th, 11th, 12th, and finally your 1st house. On the evening of the 30th, Mercury ends its weeks of combustion. It is as if a fog lifts from your microphone. Your voice becomes clear again. This is the thread that ties the story. Here is your gentle, thorough guide. It is simple, practical, and elaborate. It is structured such that anyone can use it, even if astrology is new. Take what helps. Leave what does not. Let the rest sit like a warm cup of tea beside you. In this section, I will mention the star fields, the nakshatras, and their parts. I will explain them in plain words, so you know how each piece colors your week. The sun stands in Virgo, in your 10th house. Early in the week, it finishes Uttara Phalguni in the 3rd and 4th part. Then on the 27th morning, it moves into Hasta in the 1st and 2nd part. Uttara Phalguni is a field of duty and clean agreements. It is the spirit of I will show up. I will keep my word. I will make this fair. The 3rd and 4th part pull the mind toward balance and depth. This makes you rearrange roles and polish promises. Hasta is the field of the hand. It loves craft, repair, coding, stitching, healing, writing, editing. Anything precise that uses both mind and fingers. The 1st part is practical and calm. The 2nd part is sweet and artistic. With the sun here, your leadership shines through useful action. You lead by doing what works. Mercury travels side by side with the sun in Virgo. It spends most of the window in Hasta Part 2 and 3, then steps into Chitra Part 1 late on the 28th. Hasta Part 2 and 3 make your mind exact and people-aware. You read the room, choose simple words, and spot errors fast. In Chitra, which is the builder's star, your thoughts want to design and ship. This is architecture, layout, and launch energy. Remember that Mercury is combust most of the week. That means the sun's heat hides Mercury's voice. Emails can be missed. Messages can be misunderstood. On the 30th evening, the combustion ends. Think of it as your microphone working at full power again. The moon writes the mood. It begins in Virgo with the sun and Mercury, then enters Libra on the 24th, Scorpio on the 26th, and Sagittarius on the 29th. When the moon walks in Virgo in your 10th house, you feel the pull to get things done. When it steps into Libra in your 11th house, you want connection, teamwork, and fair play. When it falls into Scorpio in your 12th house, it dips low. This is the moon's debilitated place, and feelings run deep, private and tender. Use this for rest and release. On the 29th before dawn, it crosses a thin, watery edge and moves into Sagittarius and your first house. This crossing is like moving from the deep end to the shallow end of a pool. Once in Sagittarius, the moon looks across to Jupiter in Gemini. The two look at each other, and that mutual gaze warms the heart. It brings confidence, agreement, and a teacher-student mood that works both ways. Mars stands in Libra in your 11th house for the whole window. It is in Swati parts 1 and 2. Swati is the independent wind. It loves movement, agility, and negotiation. In the first part, you meet new faces. In the second part, you become sharper about what you want from the group. Mars is brave here. It will ask for the meeting, push the proposal, and trim what wastes time. It also needs polite tone. With Swati, a gentle breeze changes more than a sudden gust. Jupiter stays in Gemini in your 7th house all week. It moves through Punarvasu, part 3, which is Jupiter's own field. Punarvasu is the homecoming path. It brings back wisdom we had lost and helps us try again with a softer heart. In the third part, the mind looks beyond the local scene. You hear ideas from afar, or partners from other cities or cultures bring gifts. Jupiter is in Mercury's sign, which is not a strong home for Jupiter, but being in its own star softens this. It is like a wise teacher staying in a small guest room, but holding class in a familiar garden. Partnerships benefit when you speak clearly and share your methods. Venus walks through Leo in your 9th house. It begins in Magha parts 3 and 4. Then, on the 25th night, moves into Purva Falguni parts 1 and 2. Magha feels royal and ancestral. It honors elders and tradition. In those parts, the heart asks, what legacy am I continuing? Which throne have I outgrown? In Purva Falguni, Venus is in its own field. This star loves warmth, art, play, and generosity. In the first and second part, creative teaching and travel for joy become strong themes. Venus shares the 9th house with Ketu, the south node. That makes your belief system more honest. You choose truth over applause. Saturn is retrograde in Pisces in your 4th house. It stands in Uttara Bhadrapada part 1, which is Saturn's own star. This star is wise, deep, and responsible. It is the old turtle under the sea that holds the house upright. In part 1, the push is to start fresh, but with respect for the past. Retrograde motion here means you are revisiting home matters, property choices, family duties, or your inner foundations. It is not punishment. It is a long, slow carpentry job where you measure twice, cut once. Neptune also moves in Pisces with Saturn and is retrograde in the same star. Neptune brings dreams, art, and empathy. When Neptune and Saturn share a room, the best work is sacred and practical at the same time. A quiet altar beside a filing cabinet, a budget that carries kindness, an old photo restored and framed. Neptune's gentle vision needs Saturn's frame to hold its shape. Saturn's structure needs Neptune's heart to stay human. Rahu, the north node, travels in Aquarius in your 3rd house. It is in Purva Bhadrapada part 1. This is a spark that can make a message go far. It can be creative and brave. Because Jupiter rules this star, Rahu here does best when your big claims have truth behind them. You do not need clickbait. You need clarity and evidence. Ketu, the south node, stands in Leo in your 9th house. It stays in Purva Falguni parts 3 and 4 across these dates. That trims showy belief and leaves a warm, simple devotion. It may reduce your tolerance for hype. It asks you to cut a promise if it no longer matches your heart. Uranus is retrograde in Taurus in your 6th house in Kritika part 4. Kritika is the cutter, the sharp blade that trims away what is no longer useful. In the 4th part, you make final edits to routines and tools. This is the perfect time to automate a boring step or end a habit that drains energy. Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn in your second house in Uttara Ashada Part 4. This is the deep accountant. It wants power over your voice and money to come from integrity. In Part 4, it is firm and mature. Old money patterns can end here. New vows can begin. That is the choir of the sky. Each voice has a tone and a task. When they sing together, your life hears a strong harmony. Serve with skill, speak with truth, cut the excess, honor the home, and let your heart lead your teaching. Now let us stand back and look at the whole painting. Imagine a long table. On one end sit the Sun and Mercury in Virgo. They are practical managers. They hold pens, checklists, and prototypes. On the other end sit Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. They hold the family album and the lamp. They speak softly about duty, rest, and meaning. Between the two ends runs a bridge. You walk across that bridge this week. You carry reports one way and compassion the other way. You link career and home, public duty and private soul. This is your main work. Two other themes support this bridge. The first is your message and your belief. Rahu on your third house makes your voice loud. Ketu on your ninth house makes your belief simple and clean. This is a beautiful mix when used well. You can say less and reach more. You can write shorter and hit deeper. But if you try to impress people without truth inside, the nodes will expose it quickly. The second theme is social momentum. Mars in Libra lights your networks, teams, and gains. It is like a skilled fencer who fights for your cause with style. Jupiter in Gemini sits across the table as a partner, mentor, or client who wants a clear explanation. If you anchor your pitch in proof and service, Mars brings the push, Jupiter gives the yes. The moon's path describes the emotional arc. At first, you feel driven to improve the work. Then, you lean into meetings and friendships. Then, you pull back for a private reset and purge. Last, you step forward with fresh energy and a friendly mind. The important shift for the mind happens on the evening of the 30th when Mercury ends combustion. Before that, emails can vanish, calls can crosswire, labels can be wrong, sites can glitch, and typos can slip through. After that, the air clears. Signatures and announcements feel safer. If this week were a novel, the chapter titles would be simple. Make it better. Make friends and deals. Let go. Say it clean. That is all you need to remember. Sagittarius, you are a fire sign. You burn bright. You need meaning like lungs need air. This week feeds you in a very real way. The Sun, which rules your ninth house of purpose, sits high in your 10th house of duty. It is as if your mission puts on a uniform and shows up at work. You will feel proud when your work helps people. If your task looks small, do not worry. A small task done right can carry huge grace. A nurse adjusting a blanket, a coder removing one slow line, a manager changing a sentence in a policy so it feels more human. This is Virgo power. The moon asks you to listen to tides. When it's in Scorpio, on the 26th and 27th, think of a deep well. Someone has drawn a lot of water, and the level is low for a while. You do not run the pump dry. You rest. You let the well gather. You sleep. You hydrate. You avoid sticky conversations. And you forgive yourself for not being a machine. When the moon enters Sagittarius on the 29th, your spark returns. You will want to speak, teach, and start. Mark this inner change with a small ritual. Open the windows. Take a short walk. Write 3 lines about what you care about this quarter. Numerology colors the mood like a soft filter. The 27th carries strong number 9 energy, the field of courage and completion. It is a day to end a loop with honor or to act with clean will. The 30th holds number 3 and number 5 flavors by day and by planet. 3 belongs to Jupiter and supports learning, teaching, and growth. 5 belongs to Mercury and supports communication and trade. This mix says, prepare your mind during the day and speak with clarity after sunset. It fits perfectly with Mercury's return to full strength that evening. To keep your mind steady, use simple rules. When in doubt, tell the truth and be kind. When angry, wait 1 hour and drink water. When you feel afraid of losing face, ask what the clean act would be if nobody were watching. Your sign blooms under big skies and honest promises. This week will reward that. Your 10th house is the main stage. The Sun and Mercury are there. They form a classic teamwork between meaning and method. They also face Saturn and Neptune in your 4th house. Think of a courtroom where one table presents data and the other table presents context and impact. The judge is the public. The verdict is trust. The best outcome arrives when the data is real and the context is humane. This week, lead through Certus. Virgo loves flowcharts, bug fixes, cleaner dashboards, and better policies. It loves checklists before handover and version numbers on files. It loves sample size, footnotes, and links to the original source. It is not glamorous work, but it saves time for everyone. It makes you reliable. That is power. Saturn in the 4th house can show up as strict timelines from home commitments, building or vehicle issues, or deep need for quiet time to think. The message is simple. Create structure so you can do great work without burning out. Block 2 focused hours each morning. Use noise-canceling headphones. Place a plant on your desk. Put a 3-line purpose on the wall where you can see it. Neptune adds empathy. Use it to write policies and product copy that feel human. For example, speak to users like you would speak to a friend. Replace must with please. Explain why you ask for certain steps. This is how the 4th house supports the 10th. Mercury's combustion is the only strong caution at work. It means the sun's bright light overwhelms Mercury's tone. Until the 30th evening, avoid big launches and irreversible statements if you can. If something must go out earlier, add buffers. Double-check names, numbers, and links. Ask one more person to review. Keep messages short and exact. If you are a manager, do read-back checks. Ask the person to repeat the key point in their own words. Mars in your 11th house gives you courage to ask for resources. It enjoys negotiation and PR. Use it to pitch, but use Swati style. Quick, polite, and ready to bend. A wind that adjusts its angle reaches the harbor faster than a wind that fights the rocks. Jupiter in your 7th house favors agreements if they include teaching, transparency, and mutual growth. When you connect with a partner or client, show how your method works. Share a 1-page process map. Offer a short training. Teach them how to use your output. This earns trust. On the 30th evening, Mercury ends combustion and your voice becomes clear. This is the best window for signatures, press notes, or anything public that must be precise. Imagine you are launching a site. Go live after sunset with your favorite tea on your desk and a checklist in hand. Keep a rollback plan anyway, because Virgo likes safety nets. The combination of Sun and Mercury here is a gift. It is called the union of purpose and work. Let it speak for you. Money this week asks for maturity, not fear. Pluto moves through your 2nd house of income and voice. It sits in a star of firm authority. It wants your money story to be honest and strong. If there is a price that never felt right, this is the time to change it. If you need to adjust your salary expectations, your retainer terms, or your billing cycle, do it with dignity. Pluto does not like rush. It likes vows. Mars in your 11th house of gains creates momentum. When you speak up, results come. When you follow up, invoices get paid. When you ask for a referral, you receive one. The key is diplomacy. Keep your messages short and graceful. If you must push, keep the tone neutral. Gentle nudge on the invoice dated is swati energy. This works better than long explanations. Partnerships backed by Jupiter will also improve revenue, especially if they involve learning, teaching, or platform growth. Venus in your 9th house promises luck through sincere creativity and travel with purpose. It moves into its own field on the 25th night. From then on, the heart has more strength to create beautiful things that also make money. If you teach, paint, write, coach, film, or design, this shift feels like a warm light. Ketu beside Venus keeps you honest. You will make more when your art is true rather than trendy. Rahu in your 3rd house makes your voice reach farther. This is great for marketing if you keep to facts. Share a short case study. Post a clear thread about a method you use. Send a newsletter with one good idea and one useful link. The more practical, the better. Practical timing helps. Use the early part of the window to prepare offers and price sheets. Avoid big money risk during the 26th when the moon is low in your 12th house. Consider sending invoices or confirming payments after Mercury recovers on the 30th evening. If you must act before, add clear lines and screens so that nothing is missed. Remember that money responds to respect. Speak to it as you would speak to a guest. Keep your books clean. Write down your budget. Give your savings a name. Pluto loves rituals like that. It will reward you with a deeper sense of control. You learn through people this week. Jupiter in your 7th house wants every bond to be a classroom where both sides grow. It does not like manipulation. It likes openness, kindness, and the simple sentence, "Here is what I need, and here is what I offer." Because Jupiter sits in Mercury's sign, words are the path. Clear messages build trust. A shared document can save a friendship. A recap email can say the deal. The mutual gaze between the moon in your 1st house and Jupiter in your 7th house on the 29th and 30th is tender and strong. It is the look two old friends share across a table when they know they can count on each other. Use this mood to make peace or to go deeper. It supports vows of all kinds. It supports proposals for work or marriage. It supports a decision to be better listeners. You do not need roses or fireworks. You need eye contact and plain words. Mars in your 11th house adds spice to social life. You may meet new allies. A friend may introduce you to someone bold. You might join a group where people actually get things done. Sports, volunteering, or a professional guild can be very good now. Just watch your tone. A sharp tongue can cause a small storm. If you feel edgy, take a breath before replying. Swati is fast. Let your kindness be faster. Venus in your 9th house with Ketu can pull you away from people who love appearances more than truth. If you feel bored in a certain chat group or drained by a certain social platform, you may take a break. That is allowed. You can choose fewer, deeper ties. This is not rejection. It is alignment. The right people will be happy to meet you where you are. Family life has a sober note because Saturn is in your 4th house. Elders may need attention. Home systems may need repair. The kindest expression of Saturn is showing up on time. Cook simple food. Share the chores. Make the bed. Water the plant. These are small acts of love that build a safe home for all relationships to rest. Your body likes rhythm. When Saturn and Neptune move through your 4th house, your inner world asks for simple care. Sleep earlier. Wake with light. Keep a quiet corner for prayer, art, or breathing. Eat warm food and drink more water than you think you need. This alone can change your week. Uranus in your 6th house points at routines. It wants you to upgrade a tool or automate a step. It might be as small as setting reminders to stand and stretch, or as large as changing your scheduling system. Think of tiny hinges that swing big doors. A 10-minute daily stretch routine can remove an hour of pain. A new bottle on your desk can double your water intake. A cleaner app layout can reduce stress in your day. Take joy in small fixes. The moon's fall in Scorpio on the 26th is the low tide. Plan rest. If strong emotions come, let them pass like a wave. Do not analyze every feeling. Breathe. Cry if you need to, then sleep. Avoid heavy foods and difficult talks on that date. The next day you will feel lighter. When the moon enters Sagittarius on the 29th, your energy returns. This is a good time for a longer walk, a yoga class, or a light run. Your hips and thighs may need care, so stretch gently. The mutual gaze with Jupiter is wonderful for mental health. It brings hope. Call a friend. Read one chapter of a book that uplifts you. Make a short list of what you are grateful for. This is not a trick. It is a true reset for the nervous system. Remember, your sign burns bright. Bright flames need fuel and air. Sleep and hydration are your fuel. Honest, joyful movement is your air. Keep both. With Venus and Ketu in your 9th house, journeys that feed your soul are favored, but only if they are honest. A trip to meet a mentor, a short retreat to write, a visit to an elder, or a creative workshop can be healing. If a travel plan is only for show, your heart may resist. Listen to it. Rahu in your 3rd house supports short trips and logistics, but watch the details. Check tickets twice. Keep chargers close. Share your schedule clearly with your team. This is especially important before Mercury ends combustion. If you drive, plan a little extra time. If you fly, store a copy of your ID and bookings in your phone. If you present at an event, carry backups on a small drive. Saturn in the 4th house sometimes prefers staying home. You do not need many trips to feel alive. One well-planned movement can do the job. A small day trip with a real conversation can be better than a week lifting heavy suitcases. This is a golden theme for you now. The Sun and Mercury in your 10th house make your craft visible. Jupiter in your 7th house asks you to turn that craft into teaching. Mars in your 11th house brings a platform. Venus in the 9th house gives love to the story you tell. Put together, this is the perfect time to make a mini course, to publish a guide, to launch a workshop, to start a study group, or to record a set of lessons. Keep it simple. Virgo likes step-by-step. Think of a recipe card. Title, 3 steps, notes, pictures. If you are a developer, write a starter guide. If you are a designer, share a small set of templates. If you are a manager, share a one-pager on how you run feedback sessions. If you are a healer, record a short breath practice. Teach what you know in a friendly way. Do not try to cover everything. Cover one useful thing well. Venus in your 9th house after the 25th makes art more joyful. When you write, choose warm words. When you paint, use colors that soothe you. When you sing or speak, choose a pace that feels like walking with a friend. Ketu keeps ego out of the way. This is good. People can feel the clean heart behind the work. That attracts the right audience. If you have children or mentor young people, the 11th house Mars gives you sparkle to guide them through group tasks or sports. Encourage fair play and curiosity. Reward teamwork. That is the lesson of Libra. The only caution is still Mercury's heat. If you publish a big piece before the 30th evening, check it 3 times. A typo in the title is easy to prevent but hard to forget. After the 30th evening, speak freely. What is the soul lesson here? Why this story? Why now? The sky seems to say the world needs your truth, but it needs it in a form it can use. Virgo takes your best beliefs and turns them into doable steps. Pisces asks you to soften, to care for your inner life while you serve. The nodes teach a simple rule: say what is true and do not chase applause. Mars teaches courage with grace. Jupiter teaches that teaching is love. Pluto teaches that power belongs with honesty. Uranus teaches that freedom begins with a better routine. Saturn teaches that reliability is love in action. Venus teaches joy in sincere creation. The moon teaches that tides pass and hope returns. Suffering this week comes mostly from two places. The first is trying to impress instead of trying to help. The second is ignoring the body's need for rest on the 26th. If you can avoid those traps, you will feel both useful and at peace. If you fall into them, no problem. Apologize if needed. Fix the process. Rest. The sky does not ask for perfection. It asks for humility and care. Some people fear Saturn. You do not have to. In your fourth house, Saturn is the parent who says drink water, tidy your room, drive safely. It is not here to punish. It is here to keep your inner floor strong so your outer work can stand tall. Some people fear Ketu. Here, Ketu is the friend who takes away a mask. It removes a brand new but uncomfortable shoe and gives you your favorite old pair. You walk better. You smile more. That is all. Some people fear Pluto. In your second house, Pluto helps you become the adult of your own money and your own voice. It cuts the old, unhelpful lines. It writes new ones with your hand. It is quiet power. You can trust it. This is the karma of the week. Serve with skill. Speak with truth. Rest when the tide is low. Finish with grace. Let us put this all together in a way you can use each day without checking the clock. Start the week with a service mindset. Ask, how can I make this easier for the next person? This could be a clean file name, a clear note, a fixed link, a better form, a faster path. The Sun and Mercury will bless you for it. Remember that until the 30th evening, your messages can feel like talking through a cloth. Be patient. Repeat the key line. Use fewer words. Cheap receipts and drafts. Treat the 26th like a low-tide day. Do not judge yourself for feeling quiet. Let something go, a habit, a grudge, a file, a stack of old notes. Pray, stretch, breathe, be gentle. Consider an early night. Use the 29th and 30th to open your heart and your mouth in that order. Speak kindly and clearly. Ask for what you need. Offer what you can give. If an agreement or a public step must happen, the 30th evening is strong. At home, choose structure that supports softness. Put your phone in another room at night. Plan simple meals. Set a time for family talk where everyone gets 5 quiet minutes to share. Keep a small corner for light, art, or prayer. Saturn and Neptune will fill it with peace. With friends and groups, be brave and fair. Ask for support when needed. Offer help when able. Finish what you start. Say thank you. Mars will help you gather good people. With money, act like a calm, wise adult. Set prices you can stand behind. Invest in tools that save time. Keep your books simple and current. Speak about money with dignity, not shame. This alone can shift your life. With learning and creativity, teach something small and real. Share it freely. This is how you light the path for others and for yourself. Finally, keep faith. You are Sagittarius. You aim a bow at a star, and then you walk the miles to reach it. This week, the target is worth it. The road is clear enough, and your steps are sure. When you feel doubt, remember the bridge between Virgo and Pisces. Remember that the best service carries a human heart. Remember that the most beautiful dreams need a plan. You carry both. If you want a mantra for these 9 days, use this. Do what helps. Say what is true. Rest when I must. Finish with grace. Say it in the morning. Say it before a meeting. Say it before sleep. It will set your pace. May your work be useful, your home be kind, your partners be wise, and your path be lit. The sky stands with you.